First thing I want to talk about is the actual fish that we're trying to catch. Now, I think that fishing is very much a combination of physics and biology. And by looking at a marlin bill, we can actually see that there's some really thick bits, like, the actual bill is thick. The top jawbone is really thick. The thinnest bits are actually above the jawbone and around the eye socket. And you'll actually notice that when you catch a lot of fish, it will be in the softer parts of the fish. The bottom jaw is a very hard place to hook fish because the bone's very thin and splits. And you can actually see that see that little point on the tip there? I hope you can see that on your TV. The bottom jaw is actually made out of 3 separate pieces, and it's very easy to split the bone there, and actually that little piece there comes off. So it's not a target we want to do. The place we want to hook the fish is around the top of that thick jawbone into the thinner bone above. That's the area we want to hook the fish in. So we actually want to target the hooks at that. You can do it. It's not that big a deal if you follow some pretty simple instructions. That's a 130-pound blue marlin, by the way. It was very easy to get it down to bone. I actually just used a gurney, and it was all done in about 15 minutes. And the brim off the pontoon really loved it. So you can do it yourself. And I actually suggest that you do, because then you can actually get your hooks and actually stick the hooks in the jaw, in a fresh jaw, and you can see how much pressure it takes to get a hook through it. And you'll soon realize that you can't get a hook through that bone gently. It's a vicious, violent operation. So it tells you pretty much straight away that the heavier the drag, the more chance you've got of punching that hook through that jawbone. It's very much like getting a nail into pine. Basically you can try and push it in, but when you hit it with a hammer, the harder you hit with the hammer, the faster that goes in, and the less chance you've got of splitting that wood. And marlin jaws will split, so you can have too much pressure on them, which is very much the reason with these little blacks and little stripes and little blues, you actually catch more on 8 and 10 kilo than you do on 24, because at 8 kilo drag, it's too much, and it can actually split the bone. If you have a close look at the fish caught on 24 and even the little blacks on 37, you'll see that the hook has actually split the bone for a considerable distance, and quite often when they're lost, you've actually split the fish. You may have seen photos of marlin with their bills that are actually split and they sort of fold out. That's what happens when that fish has been caught young on heavy tackle, and it's simply split all the way through. The top bill is also in 2 parts all the way along. It's actually 2 parts of the bill joined together like that, very much. Okay? So when you understand the biology, you can really get an idea of how you target that idea.